What's up, my dearest compadres, my comrades, and my friends? Welcome back to another episode of Sonic Saturator. I am Aaron C. Schroeder, and as always, joined by my ever so lovely co-host, Vandy. Vandy, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing way better than Norm. I'm doing great. Great to see you, Schroeder. We're back for another week. Norm, we did it, man.
That's right. You know, I had to open this up with this track this week because, of course, the theme is Cheers.
Cheers, yes.
But I don't want to get too much into that. We'll get there sooner.
Just
or
a
later.
taste, right? Got to whet the appetite.
Yeah. But I will say really quick, I've never actually heard the full version of this song until I grabbed it for the show today.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to the lyrics?
I was gonna say, I can tell you, I've never listened to the full track, but this is an intro to a show that, like, in our house, we normally skip the intro. Not for Cheers, my man. We're listening to the intro every time, and we're gonna enjoy that song. Yeah.
There is an unfortunate lyric in this song. The verses seem... I think we just went over it, actually.
Okay.
I hope. Maybe.
Maybe
But
so.
there's an unfortunate lyric where it is, it's just, the verses are like, are you so sad that your wife is this? Well, come over here, come to
Yeah.
But one of the verses is basically asking the wife, are you sad that your husband dresses like a lady? Well, come on over and hang out. This is like, oh, hey.
Watch out now.
different time.
Yeah. For some reason, that line didn't make it into the show intro.
What's also crazy is there were two other songs he pitched to be the theme song both got rejected, and I listened to both. They went with the correct song for as problematic
for
as
as
a few of the
troublesome as
lines,
it is.
Yeah. As far as the show
man?
is concerned, clean as a whistle.
Clean
tune.
as a whistle. Yeah.
Oh, but there it was. All right. Well, what's going on in the news these days? Give me the Vandy Corner roundup.
So, are you familiar with a beer called Schlitz?
Yeah, of course.
Right. A former staple of the American household, became one of the most popular beers, like leading up to the year 1900. Then became, there was a Chicago
Leading
fire.
up to the...
So look, there was a Chicago fire in the 1870s.
Gotcha.
Schlitz donated a whole lot of beer to the firemen, went gangbusters. They were like the Coors Light of the day, right?
Sure.
Fast forward decades, cost cutting, things of that nature. They screw with the recipe.
Ingredients?
Yeah. And
The recipe. There we go.
The recipe and that kind of thing. And the worst quality as far as what it was before. They lose brand allegiance and so become a defunct company, kind of disappear for a while. Then they're picked up by the Pabst Blue Ribbon Company, which makes total sense because that's that wheelhouse. Schlitz.
That's
Pabst,
yeah.
Lone Star. You know what we're talking about.
You could take beer from the same keg, put it in all those cans. In fact, for today, this is a perfect opportunity because for today,
what do you got?
Because the theme is Cheers, I have decided to kick back a couple of cold ones with you, my guy.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear this, Schroeder.
And I will
just
be
pull up to
sipping
the bar.
upon the Washington version.
That's the
Rain Dog.
Is that
Rainier?
Is it
beer.
Rainier beer? Is that a lager, right?
It is.
It's a beer.
Who knows? It's a beer. It's mountain fresh, and it comes
straight
from here.
It's straight from the mountain.
What I understand is that there is an angel that lives atop Mount Rainier that gets punched in the face fortnightly, and its tears are what brew such delicious, fine pieces of something. I don't know where I'm going with that.
So, Schlitz beer gets bought by the Pabst, beer company, Pabst Blue Ribbon, right? PBR. Fast forward more years, and we are where we are today, where things are way more expensive to produce. And once again, Schlitz beer is going away, and they're shipping out their last cases. Will it be a forever thing? It seems uncertain, but I want to say for all those Schlitz drinkers over the years, and if you're still out there, cheers.
Cheers.
So, yeah.
This is the thing. Yeah, go. Or sorry, I was just gonna say this is the thing. I do believe in certain folklorish type deals, where like you don't want bad luck on yourself, and it is my understanding that if you cheers with anything that's not a drink, with water or etc., which is what I normally drink here,
Right.
well then you are going to be greeted by loads of bad luck. So
Yeah, we can't have that. I'm glad you grabbed that cold one right there.
Mhm. Oh, cheers.
Okay, so my second piece of information I want to share is actually.
Oh wait,
Is what you got?
Sorry.
Something? Go ahead.
I did. It sounded like you were leading up to the fact that you bought a case of these bad boys. Did you buy
no,
any
I've not seen a Schlitz beer in forever.
I might be buying a pallet now that I know it's going away.
Look, guys, if y'all can find them, let us know. Schroeder's on the hunt.
Yeah. I love me some crap beer, dude.
Yeah,
Pearl, Lone Star,
it
Olympia,
has its
Rainier?
purpose. There was we've all been there.
That's right. Usually its purpose is to help you acquire your first taste of whiskey.
There you go. There you go.
A quick little slug back of a shit beer. Yeah, go ahead.
So sometimes we make mistakes on our show, right? And
Oh,
then
boy.
Sometimes there's just things that get omitted from the show due to the flow of conversation, things of that nature, time constraint, which there's none. This is our show. We do what we want. But sometimes things get omitted, right? Last show, Problem Child, I brought up the replacements. I brought up how they were, banned from SNL, right? We had that discussion.
Mhm.
You talked about seeing a list of artists that have been banned
like
from
YouTube
SNL
videos,
over the
yeah.
years, right? There was two connections to the very last track I played. One was the Simpsons connection when we started with the 10 Commandments of Bart, and we ended with Cypress Hill
Cypress Hill.
and the London Symphony Orchestra fulfilling that Simpsons prophecy per se.
Yeah.
The other thing I failed to mention is that Cypress Hill was also banned from Saturday Night Live for playing that exact track, I Ain't Going Out Like That. And it ties into another band that you actually brought up on the same episode, The Who. And this is how, and I watched an interview. So this is straight from the artist. They had this plan for the second song. After the song was over, they were going to destroy their instruments, much like The Who did, right? The Who were known for just trashing the stage, destroying it. So that's what their plan was to do. However, leading up to the show, a stage manager, an assistant stage manager, that type, keeps coming into their dressing room to reiterate that they really don't want them to light and smoke herbal medicine on stage during their set, because the band's known to be cool with the herbal medicine, right?
Right. I mean, they have a show now where all they do is sit around and smoke.
For sure. So,
Yeah.
being asked that one time, but I bet it was annoying for the band. But it seems like that assistant stage manager, whoever it was, kept coming back and reiterating to the point where one of the members said, screw this. And the very first seconds of the song, If I Ain't Going Out Like That, he lights a J and starts smoking right there on stage. And therefore, they are also banned on SNL. So
it.
Right. So I felt like that was an
my
important
kind
nugget.
of advocacy.
I wanted to bring that
Fascinating.
back up. Yeah. So both the replacements and Cypress Hill from the Problem Child episode were both banned from SNL.
That's so funny.
Isn't that wild? And lastly, for you, Schroeder, well, do you have any news before I can bring up some comments we received over the past week?
I do have a piece of news.
Do you got something?
I honestly forgot. And then
Okay.
and I even have it. It's right here, and I forgot it was sitting right in front of me. I wanted to give a cheers to this band. This is a local Seattle band called Jackie Tulsa. They just released their debut album. I think they have an EP and stuff out, but this is full-length album. They recorded it. I have nothing to do with it. They recorded it at Hall of Justice, and I'm gonna go see them on Saturday night at the Connor Byrne for the
Heck
record
yeah.
release show. Somebody that I do work with pretty often is Arden Leese. She is a sort of member of the band. She like is
Okay.
featured all over the album. She's been playing with them live every so often. So anyway, Jackie Tulsa, congrats on your album release and excited for Saturday,
Yeah.
which is the day that this show comes out. So I'll see you tonight.
That's right. Cheers, Jackie Tulsa.
And I think that's all the news I've really got. I kind of stayed out. I get my I get my newsletters, but it's a lot of album reviews and stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. So not a lot of big music news that I can think of off the top of my dome.
Okay. No big. Well, let's have some fun with some audience feedback that we've received
Ooh.
on the old interwebs.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned this comes from a Lindsay Vanderbilt 8324 that we need to tell you specifically that there's an alternate show title for the pod that we should consider called 7 Degrees of Separation from the Butthole Surfers, in reference to how often you bring up the Butthole Surfers in our show.
Hey, didn't bring them up last week.
That's one.
You've brought them up this week, not me.
It's too late now, right? So
And I've still not said the name. So
right. It got me thinking though, like leading up to the today's shows, like what if there was a Sonic Saturator drinking game? Like every time one of us said, dude, you had to take a drink, like
Yep.
you'd be dead. If Aaron brings
dude.
up Butthole Surfers,
There it
you
is.
have
I
to
just
drink
said-
the whole bottle.
I think it could be, the game could easily be anytime you or I say something inaccurate.
Oh,
You'll
man.
be blotto after the hour and a half, 2 hours of a show run.
Yes. Just nothing. Yeah, nothing left. Okay, so in reference to, you brought up a Radiohead track, Everything in Its Right Place. It caught some more feedback. And I can't remember if you addressed this in the episode, so forgive me.
Everything in its right place?
In that's the one you played, right?
Is that what it's called? I've already forgotten the name of the song.
Yes, dude, that's what it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Idioteca? No.
dude, okay. Stay on track here. Jimbo Fandango 7046 thought they used
Oh,
a
yeah.
chaos pad to manipulate Tom's voice on the track, or is that just live performances? And
That's live.
That's just live. And what
That's
you
just
broke
live.
down into the episode was the scrubbing technique, correct?
Yeah, that's how they did it.
Gotcha.
For the record.
So as a follow-up question, this actually came on TikTok. I don't have this one pulled up, but they asked if you knew of like a current plugin that could help with that type of effect that you might be able to suggest.
Well, no, kind of, sort of.
Okay, hey,
but
we'll take kind of. What do you
Yeah.
got?
So, just to reiterate, what they were doing is there is a scrub tool. It's not a plugin. It is a tool that is a part of Pro Tools that allows you. It just basically turns your mouse into like a little speaker icon, and you can drag it over audio to hear it in a really, to hear it really slow. I think I use it not all that often, honestly. It's just kind of fun to do sometimes to show people. But I think it's kind of used whenever you're like comping a vocal to make sure you got a clean edit between, if you're like getting into words and stuff, to make sure it's really clean and no
Yeah,
pops.
totally.
Or, yeah, if you need to scrub through audio to find an exact location to make some kind of a cut or add something, whatever. I'm sure there's plenty of industry uses for it. So anyway, that's what it is. It's a part of the program. But because they are working in Pro Tools, what they did was they would make, I don't know if they made like a mix of the song for a second system, if they just imported his vocal to a second system.
I got
But
you.
like they would do old school tape machines where if you needed 8 tracks, but you only had 2 4-tracks, you'd link them together and then you'd get the full 8, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So basically they were using 2 Pro Tools systems where one of them, and this is in the year like they probably, I mean, it came out in 2000, so this is in 1999, which means they're messing with Pro Tools was not just like put it on your laptop and go to the park and make a new
Right, right. It was
song
a
like
different
it is
beast
today.
then.
It was big. It was big. It had a lot of external stuff. But so on the second system, they would use that scrub tool to scrub through his vocal while recording that into the main system. That's how they did it
Okay.
for the record.
Okay.
It is a Chaos Pad Live.
Chaos Pad
Now
Live.
then,
Okay.
for the plugin, there's all kinds of options where you can do vinyl type effects
Mm-hmm.
so that you can make stuff speed up or slow down by pressing a button. So, so it sounds like you've just turned off the record player and goes
For sure. Yeah.
There's those, but again, there is a version of that built into Pro Tools, so you don't really need a plugin either. That's just called Very Speed. That's what, and you can look that up. Or no, in Pro Tools they call it Verify, but the concept is Very Speed.
Okay.
But yeah, it's built into Pro Tools. You could do that. And then the Chaos Pad. Just buy one of those.
Yeah,
you don't need who needs a plugin? Get physical, baby.
Yeah,
Plugins
get a Chaos
are for
Pad.
beginners and idiots.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
If you can't record creatively, get out of the business, baby.
That's right. Just make it work.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Schroeder. Let me, I'll tell you how I approached my playlist, and then I'll toss it to you to let me know how you.
Is that all we got on the comments and the YouTubes and all this stuff?
Yep. That's what we're hitting on today.
Okay.
But yeah, you ready to dive into this celebratory episode of Cheers?
Yeah. Okay, right. So this is the part where we switch over and we're actually doing it. So I'll tell you what I decided to do, and then we'll kick it over to you, and then you kick us off into the playlist.
All right, let's do it.
I went basic, baby.
Pretty basic.
I chose a bunch of bands that I want to give a cheers to.
Oh, hell yeah.
For all kinds of different reasons. Either A, how informative they were to the time period in which they made their music, how undervalued I felt like they were in the moment whenever I was listening to them, because I was like, why does everybody either A, hate this band, or B, not know about this band?
Okay.
So my whole list is bands that I just wanted to give a big hurrah to. So
oh, dude,
I
love
drinking it tonight.
No, dude,
I
love
got a
that
lot
idea.
of cheerses to get out. Yeah,
dude. Just little hat tip to your favorite artist out there, huh?
I wouldn't say my favorite.
Okay. Just some that you want to give a hat tip to.
Exactly. I would say none of these bands make it into my top 5. Depending on the day, they could probably a few of them could sneak into top 10. But
Okay.
as we'll learn, there's just a lot more under the hood with these bands that I think at the time, just for one reason or another, didn't last into something bigger, grander.
Okay. I like it.
More royal, you might say.
All right. Well, I went pretty basic as well. I just wanted to have fun. It's been a week, dude. It's the last week of school for my kids.
Oh, wow.
So my playlist is a bunch of drinking songs.
Hell yeah. Oh, that does remind me. I wanted to give a cheers to you, sir. Because not only has it been one of a hell of a week, but it's been 2 months for us, bud.
Is it 2 months?
Today is our 8th episode. This is our 2-month anniversary. And I feel like we've kind of found our rhythm. I know I've finally discovered my rhythm for curating and creating a playlist.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Cheers to us.
Salud, el ocho. Yeah, so
rainwater.
Exactly. Like that's the vibe of my playlist. I just want to have a good time. I'm going to jump genres. I'm going to jump eras.
Great.
All the songs will have something to do with drinking itself. So these These are drinking songs literally and figuratively.
Can I ask you a question before? And I always hate this, but I love the game of trying to guess what might have shown up in your playlist.
Okay.
Um, and I'm just curious to find out. So I'm not going to ask you the question, is it? So I'm just going to say what I hope to discover is that at some point we learned that she drinks a whiskey drink, she drinks a vodka drink.
Not a chance in fucking hell. There is no Chumbawamba, and you better not add it to your playlist while I'm not looking.
I like Chumbawamba. Look, this is on par with corn for me.
No, it is not.
Maybe.
And I say that as not a corn fan. It is not the same.
All right. I'm sorry. Well, I love it. All right, drinking songs.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a good time. Again, multiple genres, multiple eras. Some are like, obviously, this is about drinking. Some are not so much. I'm gonna kick us off, right? And I picked one of my personal favorites. Like, if I hear this song, like, your boy's ready. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm ready to crack open a cold one or pour myself a little bourbon. And I just love the way this song starts. Not with music, but with a bottle pop. This is Feel the Pain by Dinosaur Jr.
Oh, dag.
Yes. And something about this track, man, gets me fired up. Like, I'm ready. Like, you ready? You want to go out? You want to party? Like, yeah. Let's have that first beverage and just it's time to get loose, bro.
For it, yeah. This is one of those bands that I never really properly paid attention to, and I've always been meaning to just start from the beginning with them and just work through the discography.
It's a good idea. The songwriting of Mr. Maskus is just pretty incredible. The pop sensibilities over the great, just great guitar tones, the great rhythm section, Lou Barlow on the bass. It's great. It's funny to me, like, there are certain artists that sound like America per se. Tom Petty's kind of got that sound, but part of me thinks that Dinosaur Jr. sounds like America to me. It's like, it's always a Fender guitar, you know?
I 100% totally understand what you're coming from.
You know, like that. It just has that vibe. Like, it's America. The music video. This is '94. If you've never seen the music video, it's basically the band going around the city in a golf cart playing golf with two movie stars that are in the video. One of them is Chloe, you know how to do it. Chloe Sevigny,
Sevigny.
And a young Spike Jones. So
that's why I've seen it.
And so they just go around the city and just playing golf in their full golf garb. It's pretty great.
I'm assuming directed by a one Spike Jones.
I would have to guess. Yes, you can just tell by the video. You know,
it's got a skateboarder's attitude about it.
100%, 110%. This is again '94. Albums Without a Sound. Bands from Massachusetts. Produced by Jay Maskus.
Yep. Western Mass band. Born and bred, baby. Still. So I was going to bring up, a buddy of mine moved to Western Mass a few years ago, and when he goes out, because Amherst is, I believe, specifically where...
I think you're right.
Yeah,
yes, they are. They're
Amherst.
Based out of Amherst. You're right.
Yeah, it's where they've always been. They've just always been there. And my buddy lives literally just down the road from Amherst, goes to shows all the time. Jay Maskus still out on the scene, and my buddy still is like, dude, Jay Maskus is here.
Yeah.
I'm in paradise.
Yeah. Dude, great band, great rock band, but also he's put out solo music. If you're more into that acoustic
his own guitar.
Feel, his voice is unique. It's kind of lazy, sun-kissed lazy. And that translates, I think, pretty well even over to acoustic. Because again, the man understands how to write a hook. And
this is what's up. You're talking the truth, because I think you've also just hit on the fact of why it always was that I've never gave them the full amount of time, is because you hear in their music there is a sense of joy, of play, of having, just having a good time playing rock and roll.
Yes.
And I was that asshole being like, where's the anger? Where's the angst? This is rock and roll. Why
Somebody pass the corn.
Yeah. Somebody pass the corn. My biscuit's gone limp.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. And a fantastic guitar player. Allegedly one of the loudest bands you can see live. Like, bring your earplugs. They're going to blow you out.
I am game for that all the time.
I love, and I don't know, like, I can see, like, I thought this was a known drinking songs. Like, that's not what one you automatically think of, but it is for me, and it's my show, and that's how I wanted to start it.
And it opens with a fucking bottle pop.
Yeah, dude, to this point, like, I love the song so much. Anytime I open a bottle of bourbon and I get that sound, I automatically hear the guitar start, right, dude?
And in your deep diving of the researches, did you discover if there's a particular type of bourbon or whiskey that they're popping tops on? Like, was there a drink of choice for the band?
Not one clue. I just love that it starts that way.
Yeah. Just for my own edification, the album that's off of, what is its release in the chronological order of their albums? How early were we just there? Do we know?
I think this is, let me just double check. I'm going to guess.
Just because if I'm going to be starting from the beginning.
I'm going to guess this is like second or third without a sound. I don't know off the top of my head. I know it definitely for sure is not the first. But yeah.
Great. Cool. All right. Well, let's raise a glass if we shall.
Who we got?
For my first track, I have decided to go with just a little Texas band. In fact, you could say a few different Texas bands on my list.
Okay.
This one is one of those ones that did it the hard way, touring constantly, pounding the pavement, as my mom would say.
There you go.
And ended up, you might have noticed I used the words grand and royale earlier, or royal. They ended up on Grand Royal.
Yes. At the
Cheers.
drive-in.
This is at the drive-in. This song is Pattern Against User.
Yes.
This is a 2000 album, The Relationship of Command.
A hell of an album.
When this album came out, I remember because this was whenever we were at our closest, I feel like, in that youthful times. All of our jaws were dropped at like, whoa, what is happening
yeah, no
here?
doubt.
It's so expressive, so energetic. But what I didn't know about this track and learned while deep diving it is that the song is actually about vocalist Cedric and guitarist Omar, who were both battling a heroin addiction at the time of the making of this record. And so lyrically, it's pretty dark, I guess.
Yeah.
He was always so ethereal feeling with his lyrical, like poetic.
Right,
with
it's
his
kind of hard to piece together what's going on.
Yeah, especially for someone like me, where the actual words are the last thing about the song I pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so colorful that I'm like, I really don't know what's going on here. But I love it. But yeah, it came out on Beastie Boys, founded Grand Royal. Was produced by Ross Robinson, who we have brought up in the past, maybe in
last
relationship.
episode, I think.
Was it last episode?
I think so, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what band it was, but I can't remember.
It might have been the Korn record.
Oh, you're right. It totally was. Yeah. It totally was my favorite band.
I think we've got a new drinking game. Every time Schroeder brings up Korn or Butthole Surfers.
I mean, they have something in common, Korn and buttholes. I'm just going to say. It was recorded over a 7-week period.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, though, by the year 2002, had only sold 273,000 copies, which is a big number.
Yeah, oh hell yeah.
But the amount of hype that they showed up with this album dropping,
yeah,
I kind of expected it to be more, honestly.
for sure. I mean, yeah, I agree with you because I mean they landed on MTV with it.
Yeah.
They toured with it. They
Huge
had
rotation on MTV.
late night television performances with it, all that kind of thing.
Yep, they were also on the Jules show. What is it called?
Live
again?
with Jules Holland.
That's right. They were also on Jules Holland's show. But unfortunately, at the end of a grueling tour schedule, they all expressed extreme burnout and did disband. And they did try.
So
Best
good.
intro and outro.
Yeah,
Best
that's
intro
great.
and outro ever.
That's great.
It's great. But yeah, tried to reband twice. Didn't work out either time. Jim Ward, one of the guitarists, wants nothing to do with anything about the band anymore.
It does not seem so, right? Not a part of
And
any of the
it also-
reunion efforts. Nothing. Or their
yeah.
latest records, because they have put out new music.
They put out a new record in 2016. And then during the tour of that record, it was actually noted how Omar seemed unenthused with at all playing at the drive-in music anymore. And he even said, yeah, whenever, I'm just here doing the songs, they don't really mean anything to me anymore, which is pretty trippy. Because, those were brothers in arms for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
pretty trippy stuff. And even Omar and Cedric at some point, like, I never really got into the Mars Volta. They did have way bigger success with that band. But something also happened there where they cut ties with each other for a period of time from like 2013 to 2016, I think.
Okay.
Something. It just, there's a lot of heat.
Something going on. Well, I do know
that was pretty fascinating.
Jim Ward's still doing his thing and putting out new music with Sparta. He's got a new record coming. So I think it's pretty cool.
One of the quotes I read from him was that he said, he basically said that he had no interest in talking about At the Drive-In, but he would be more than willing to talk about any of the music he is or has created on his own. But then, interestingly enough, I'm just going to give you a quick quote here. This is actually from Cedric in 2017 when they started rehearsals for the new record and album and tour, and we're like getting back together in the practice space.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out and figure each other out.
Can we get this to gel?
This is what Cedric said about Mr. Jim Ward. His head wasn't there. His head wasn't trustworthy. Because of the way Omar and I exploded with Mars Volta, I completely understand that. You either let it go and keep going forward or the train goes on without you. We have to honor what is happening now, which is age and what we want to do. I love him. He's a beautiful human being, a beautiful artist. I just wish he would remember that he's an amazing guitar player. I don't know if he does.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty heavy way to end and to make a statement about somebody who is passionate about music, but interesting choice. Because now I'm like, wait, is Jim actually got his head in the game, or is he just like, I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Interesting band. I can't wait for the documentary. Somebody please hurry up and make it.
Yeah, somebody make that for us. We'd like to know.
Yeah. I'm too busy to do it myself. I just want to learn more.
That's right. So what you're saying, what those artists were saying and what you're saying is that you want to do it my way, right? So
that's right.
And there's a gentleman that put out an album called My Way, did a cover of a song, interestingly enough. So it was not all his way. He covered someone else's music. But you can
do that if it's your way.
And you will tell immediately that he did it his way. I I am almost certain, Schroeder, you've heard the song in one of its other forms, either by the original artist or by somebody else that's covered this song. But
Well, I'm
go ahead.
I'm assuming this is Frank Sinatra's "My Way." I did it my way.
That would be very close, but that is not really cheersing to anyone. We have to cheers to someone tonight. So today,
right.
tonight, raise your old glass there. We cheers to you, Mrs. Robinson. Bada bing.
And here's to you, Mrs.
Yes, from 1969 on the album My Way, covering Mrs. Robinson by Neil Diamond, the original writer of that tune.
Whoa!
Yes, sir. I thought you'd enjoy this one.
Oh, well, that makes sense though too, because as we discovered during the bubblegum era, I think it was during the bubblegum era, there was a group of songwriters that came from that building, the Burrell Building, I believe it was called, whatever that building was called.
Yeah.
Neil Diamond was one of them. He's been a heavy hitter songwriter since before he was his own artist.
Interesting. So I did go back and listen to Neil Diamond's, and it's very much like a sappy crooning tune. And then old Mr. Classy
Blue
said,
Eyes.
we're gonna whip bop boom, we're gonna jazz this up, baby.
Hey, is my mic hot? Let's go.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Ding ding
All right.
ding.
Was this
Do
a
you
Capitol
remember-
Records release?
So this is, let me pull it up here for you. Recording locations in United Western Recorders in LA. So I'm assuming that's where it then went out. Producer was Don Costa.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Big name back
this is
then.
known for Simon & Garfunkel's version, which came up on The Graduates. And supported so do you remember Andy Kaufman, the comedian? What was the name of his character that was the lounge singer? It's like Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was it.
Yeah.
But you know how he would just like riff, right? So apparently when Sinatra would play this one, this would be one of the songs that he would just riff on and just make up lyrics. So you can just totally picture Sinatra just, a few in, ripping this off and just like bada bing, bada boom.
Oh man, I've read so much about just that era of recording is fascinating to me. It's so beautiful, and just uniquely how he loved to be in the room with the band. So you're dealing with his microphone plus a big band in one room. And
that's a lot.
Just some of the best hands to ever touch faders touched his music. Oh, that's so rad.
Yeah, dude. I imagine
funny.
that you maybe have not heard that one, and maybe a lot of the audience hadn't heard that version either. I think most of us have heard the Simon and Garfunkel version. So I was like, hey, let's throw this on there. We're having a beverage tonight. Let's class up the joint.
Yeah, love it. All right.
What you got?
Here we go again. Good golly.
Here we go.
I'm going to, this episode might be ending in one of those, we have one of those breakthrough friendship moments, but then by the end of it, we're like screaming at each other. Because I'm already I don't drink often, but when I do, I drink Rainier. No, I'm feeling a little tipsy. All right.
You've had like 2 drinks.
I really have. It's pathetic.
All
dude.
right, come on.
Pathetic.
Come on.
Here we go. All right, for this next one, yet another Texas band stacked them up. This is one that just to me, they're an Austin band. And so it was always important in that time period in which I was in Austin that they were around because their shows were the best. The people around them were the best. It was a great, loving, perfect community wrapped around rock and roll.
Yes.
And this comes from their record that seemed like it could change the face of what we consider rock radio at the time. It was heralded that way. But this is, of course, none other than and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead, their
yes.
song Here Now, or How Near, How Far.
How near, how far? Cheers to the
Cheers.
Trail of Dead. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
that
that
was
for everyone.
gosh, what was the name of that record? It slips my mind. I can picture it because the artwork is
Yeah.
always so cool.
Also, always done by Conrad, the
Yes.
guitar singer. The album is Source Tags and Codes.
That's right. That's right. I
From
should have known that.
2002. Again, Conrad Keeley originally wrote the foundations of this song about 3 years before the album was even recorded. Just always having that how near, how far refrain that we're going to get to.
Yeah.
But that was actually lifted from a completely different song that he had. He
Really?
he pulled that one in because the other song wasn't doing anything,
I gotcha.
which I think is pretty great. But originally, the original lyrical content was really steeped in like mythology. But he basically dropped that whole idea of doing whatever mythology he was looking into.
Okay.
After he read a book called Maxfield Parrish and Sue Lewin, The Make-Believe World,
Okay.
which he became like really just fascinated with their relationship. Or I'm sorry, I guess Maxfield Parrish is an artist,
Oh.
and Conrad is a painter, and so
Yeah.
Conrad is also a painter, and so he got kind of obsessed with this Maxfield Parrish character from the book Maxfield Parrish and Sue Lewin, who I believe is this guy's muse, and he got really into their relationship, and that's what this whole song is actually about.
Ooh.
Is just the relationship of the artist to the muse and the situationship that leads to.
I love this transition.
Oh, when it gets into the big lush.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's about to get
I'm excited,
lush,
fam.
baby. Yeah. But it got a 10/10 rating from
Hell yeah.
Pitchfork Media.
They get one right once in a
who's-
while.
There it was.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Pitchfork Media went on to say one of indie rock's truly epic albums, following to the tour, or sorry, their following tour was chronicled by Rolling Stone, of Andrew Dansby saying the group dynamic was a post-punk Voltron that just might be the most exciting unit working today.
Wow.
And what he means by that is that if you've ever gotten to see Trail of Dead live, the big thing they do is switch instruments. Conrad plays drums, so does one of the other main members it's been oh gosh, where's his name? Reese somebody. Bummer. But the other drummer is this somebody Reese. Reese is his last name. They switch guitar duties and drum duties.
Yeah.
Whenever I got to see them, they had another kid from Austin that would play guitar and drums, and so the three of them are always switching.
Okay. I did not know that.
Oh, dude, it's so awesome to watch happen because it feels almost seamless. It's not downtime. They fill it in with keyboards.
Yeah, I was about to
and
say,
just
because that can
ambience
really
and
slow down a
atmosphere.
show if you don't do it right.
Yeah, exactly. But yet again, here we are after a long battle that they had of just releasing music. They posted on Instagram one day, trail closed. And that basically was the end for them. The tour that I got to see them on, I guess, didn't work out well. The Seattle show, packed house. Because actually, Conrad Keeley and the other person whose last name I know only as Reese, they actually met in Olympia. So I am assuming they must have some kind of strong ties to being up here as well during that time period.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Keeley went to Evergreen College, which, if you know anything about that place, it's a trip. It's every student's dream where you grade each, or I can't remember if you grade each other or if you grade yourself.
Oh, fun.
And so you have to be honest with yourself about how well you did. So, pretty fun. But yeah,
Times.
another band that is finally done. All tragedy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I will say, there's a certain beverage that is known to bring out the honesty in people. So let's go ahead and just pop the top off this thing. This is a song that was made famous by the one and only Pee Wee Herman to most of us. This is The Champs with Tequila.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, the only time I've ever wanted to own platform loafers is whenever I watched him dance on a bar top to this song.
How many times do you think that dude fell off the bar dancing in those platform shoes?
I don't want to. I mean, his ankles, dude. Everything about it is like tough.
Those poor ankles.
Cheers to him.
Cheers to Pee Wee Herman. Rest in peace. Yeah, dude. Obviously, this one is a lyricist dream with just one lyric being tequila. This is again from 1958 on the album Go Champs Go. Home base was LA, recorded at Gold Star Studios by Dave Burgess, who I was not familiar with. One word, one mission, tequila. So the interesting thing, and I didn't have enough time to look up, this was actually a B-side to an A-side that was supposed to be the single. But this one is obviously what actually took off for the Champs. Yep. This was recorded in under 10 minutes as filler, and it is considered arguably one of the most efficient hits to ever hit the airwaves. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, dude, it reminds me of who was it? The Happy Mondays that I covered, where they just like kind of the B-sides were just like, just take that song and reverse it, and I'll sing on top of it. They've topped it. Not only did they they cared less about the B-side, it became huge.
It was a huge track. Oh man. Yes!
That's what I'm talking about.
I had to throw that in there, man. All right.
I love it.
Now the party's really kicking. We've had our first shot at tequila.
We have. It is my favorite of the liquors.
Are you for real? Okay. So
oh yeah.
I have to bring up this memory, a story that we share. Do you recall visiting my childhood home? Where I spent some time living with my grandparents, right?
Yeah.
And
I remember this. I tell this story to this day.
I'm going to tell it anyway. But
yeah, go for it.
We are young and dumb. We're used to drinking our liquor at this point out of like plastic bottles. Taka vodka.
And in secret.
And in secret. So, but we're visiting my childhood home. I spent time growing up with my grandparents. My grandparents are classy people. Rest in peace, the Mariettas. Miss you every day.
Yeah, baby. I do too.
Dude, their
classy living allowed me to experience M2 for the first time.
There you go. MTV too.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We show up, we're young adults at this point, and my grandmother, she's a fantastic host, and she's like, "Hey, who wants a shot of tequila?" And of course, a bunch of young, dumb dudes were like, us. And the funny thing was, she didn't reach from like the bottom of a cabinet and pull out a plastic bottle. She pulled from the freezer. And
yes, the first time I'd ever seen it done.
And it was in a glass bottle.
Fancy.
And then she poured them into these really nice glass, not like shot glasses, but nice little glasses. And she sets them out before us. And we raise our glass and we say our salute or whatever the cheers was. And every dude in the circle slams back the tequila. And my grandmother takes a sip, brings her glass down, and looks at us like we had all lost our minds.
Yep. I remember specifically, she looked at us and was very disappointed. And
she was quite disappointed.
She goes, "This is a sipping tequila."
Yes, which I didn't know existed, dude.
Yes, exactly. That was I was like, "Oh, that's a thing?
That's a thing? What are you talking about, Grandma?"
Oh, man.
Oh yeah,
hanging
good
out
times.
hanging out in your grandpa's office where the second TV was, watching
Yes.
into some of my favorite memories.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
where I got to see Plant Man for the first
Dude,
time, who's the drummer from Pavement, which I never knew until
right.
like this show.
And dude, like, I mean, truthfully, like when I was not living with my grandparents, we didn't have cable. But when I got to go over and stay, and they had cable, that was when I was first catching those glimpses of MTV before, in
Hmm.
the '80s and all that type of thing. But yeah, uh, thankful for them and their sharing of cable with us and their
Dude, I
fancy
love it.
tequila.
Yeah, do we know what brand it was by any chance?
Dude, not a clue, man.
Because I would love to know now, like,
Oh yeah.
how fancy really was what we were sipping on, because I'd never seen a tequila come out of the freezer before. That freaked me out.
Same,
I was like,
dude.
wow. Made it easier to shoot, though. I'll tell you that much.
It sure as hell did, didn't it?
All right. Thank you for that memory lane. I love that.
Yeah. Here we go.
Whew. For our next band.
Are we staying in the Lone Star State or are we moving?
We are not, but I did discover them while living in the Lone Star State. Whenever I first got to Austin, I discovered 33 1/3 Records, my first experience at a true independent record store that is now turned into End of an Ear that has
Yeah.
done gangbusters down there, from my
Love
understanding.
that record shop.
Yeah. So this I bought their first EP. It blew my mind at what you could do with rock and roll, and then over the course of 4 albums, they continued to grow and get stronger and better, and I shit you not, when there was a time when I spoke to your brother-in-law and we agreed that this band could probably be the next Pink Floyd on the 5th album, but we never got a 5th album. This is Comets on Fire, the Antlers of the Midnight Sun.
Dude,
Cheers
it's been
to Comets on Fire.
Comets on Fire. Dude, it's been forever since I've even thought about this band.
This is everything I thought rock and roll should be at the time. It's psychedelic. It's super far out. I still love everything about this band. Love it. This is from their 3rd album, Blue Cathedral. I almost went with a song off of Avatar, but the average song length there was about 6.5 minutes, and I just didn't have the time for that. So I found a 4-minute long one.
That didn't have anything to do with the film Avatar, right?
No, nothing at all. Well before Avatar, in fact. Some should say that they should sue for copyright infringement.
I bet they could get a
that's
penny
neither
out
here
of
nor
them.
there. But yeah, so this is off the 3rd album, Blue Cathedral, released by Sub Pop right here in Seattle in 2004. Yeah. They also released Avatar. I believe before that, the band was on Alternative Tentacles, which is about as cool as you can get if you are a punk rock or rock and roll band. As you can hear,
just killing it.
All right there. What they were known for the most is their extreme usage of the Echoplex effect, which is a tape-based, there's a little bit more of it. It's on everything. Everything gets run through it. In the early days, there was actually a 5th member whose whole job was just controlling the Echoplex.
For real?
Because they ran the vocals, the guitars, the bass,
everything.
It all went through this thing, and it just made it crazy to such a degree that after the recording of most of their albums, the singer would have no idea what his lyrics were because he was just kind of rocking out, and then there got so much effects, he's like, I can't understand what I'm saying. But that's kind of the thing that was so great about it. It was like, there's a voice there, but I have no idea what it's saying because it's so...
everything's just, is it like, it's kind of a washed out vibe? Is that how you would describe it?
I would say this is pretty washed out.
Yeah.
It is saturated in just echo with a bunch of feedback added to it.
This is what Sonic Saturation sounds like to you, isn't it?
I mean, this is about as saturated as Sonics can get. And as we've discussed in previous episodes, this is we like drummers. This is one of my all-time favorite drummers. I love his style. It's so primal, but you can tell he has just got so many actual chops built in that he can play this hard, this fast, for as long as they do. He's the whole band. Personal opinion, but that's also not true because they're also great. But that's basically, I mean, there's so much more I've written down. After they did break up, the singer went on to create Howlin' Rain, which was a project he had already had, but he really dived in and focused on that. Ben Chasney, who showed up after the first EP, but really brought in that guitar virtuoso-ness. He ended up going on to create a project called Six Organs of Admittance, which is like really drony.
I think I've got one of those records hiding somewhere, actually. Yeah,
really good stuff as well. And then also, I didn't realize this, Noel von Harmson. I don't know his actual role in the band, unfortunately, but he went on to join a band called Sick Alps, which was another early 2000s band that I really liked and had seen multiple times play live with no clue that I was looking at a person from Comets on Fire. But in a fun little fact, after they broke up, it seemed like it was another one of those tough breakups. They've been grinding for a long time and you know, shit got real, and then they were like, okay, we're done, maybe.
Yeah.
I happen to have a friend who has direct relationship with pretty much everybody from the band. And one day for a laugh, I texted him and said, you need to get a hold of Comets on Fire. Tell them to come up to Seattle. I'll record. We'll get them in the studio. I'll record everything for free. Let's just make this happen. It turns out he responded, they already tried and it didn't go well. That's what he said. And I was like, ooh, wow. So there's, again, like at the drive-in, there's blood not only in brotherhood, but on the floor there somehow.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. But yeah.
All right.
Love Comets on Fire.
Yeah, man. That is a band I remember both you and Brett bringing up in the early 2000s as a hot band out of Austin. I never did get a chance to catch them.
They're from Southern California.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe they're actually a Bay Area band. They're a California band, and that's all that really matters.
It was the time that you and Brett were both in Austin. That's where I made that connection.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and honestly, one of my favorite memories is he somehow had a burned CDR copy of Avatar, the fourth album, before it had come out.
Okay.
And we were listening to it in his car, and he was like, dude, this one's it. This is the one. And on first listen, I actually didn't get it. That one took me a minute, but it is a lot. It's not as bombastic as the first three. It's really them digging into that songwritership. Fantastic. But after like 3 listens, I was like, oh yeah, this is the most important statement in rock and roll today.
Woo.
But of course, Comets on Fire, they tend to burn out.
That's how comets do.
That's what they do.
That's just what they do. All right, Schroeder, we're going to keep this party going. Yeah. Let's have some whiskey, shall we?
Oh, boy.
To my man, Willie.
Oh.
Come on, boys.
Baby.
From Shotgun Willie, 1973. The Redheaded Stranger. One of the best songwriters, in my opinion, of all damn time.
One of the best bosses, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to hear about that. Now, Schroeder, I know, and I want you to tell your story of your time seeing Willie on stage, but I've only been able to see Willie one time. And that was at a casino in Louisiana.
Tracks, very accurate.
With my boo on my side. And it was a great set. Now, I will say, every single song he played the hits, and it was great. but they were all sped up a little bit, and he had a
Yep.
very distinctive fingering style on every track.
Yeah, he gets into that really sporadic solo vibe, huh?
Yes, yes.
It's
But-
dope.
Dude, it was so fun. And then I will always remember that he played a You Were Always on My Mind. He'd lift his finger into the air every time he said, oh, Willie.
Yeah. Did he play? I'm assuming he played Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did he open it with Whiskey River?
I think he did, yes. Because
And
that's
the
a normal
Texas
opening.
flag drops?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. From my time on the road with him, that show is like clockwork. He's got that
Yes.
thing down.
Yes, he does.
The only time it ever changed was when we were in Northern California, probably somewhere, in the big wooded area. What is that area called? Crap.
The Redwoods.
Anyway. Yeah, thank you, the Redwoods. Duh. We were up there, in that neck of the country, and the only thing that changed is he did play Redheaded Stranger. The
Oh.
only time I've ever heard it live, and it
Really?
was awesome. It was awesome.
That is.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah,
no,
that's it's a must see if you still get a chance. He's still playing.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, God bless Willie Nelson.
Yeah, there is, when you see it and you're in it and you're doing it, you realize this is the only thing that matters. This is it. Being on the road again and again
And again and again.
and again.
Just me and my
But
friends.
does it wonderfully. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Only picks venues that he knows he can sell out, and then if it warrants it, he'll just add a second night.
Yeah.
His theory, and he's not wrong here, is he'd rather see a full house than an empty seat in a small. He'd rather see a full house in a small venue than an empty seat in a big one.
Yeah.
And that's exactly correct. That's how you should play the game.
I like it. I like that philosophy.
But yeah, bro, I spent a lot of time in casinos during this era, and
Yeah.
after a while, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's a lifestyle here going on.
It's a lifestyle. And it smells like cigarette smoke.
Yep. But yeah, my job was recording the sets. There was a third-party company that got hired to go on, and then I was put in place to record all the stuff for the third-party company. And so I would get to go on to his bus after every show to pass off that night's recording so he could check it out.
Yeah.
And most times there was something going on there. One of my favorite moments, honestly, was when they asked me to come on the bus because I understood tech, I guess. I don't know why they asked me, but they couldn't get the printer hooked up to print stuff without a wire, and they wanted to do it wirelessly. So I had to figure out the router, and I do not know IT anything. But yet there I was on this bus figuring out how to get it to work.
Willie just needed to print something real quick.
Yeah. Totally.
Hey, can we get a cheers for Pootie?
Dude, and a big amen. That guy was an institution, should still be considered an institution of the Austin music scene. Cheers to Pootie.
Cheers to Pootie. All right, what do we got?
What we got is a tipsy guy trying to make his way through hosting a show. For this next one, we are going to cheers and pay tribute to a band that when they arrived, I felt like got incorrect connotation and what's the word? They were compared a lot to a certain Nirvana. And
A lot of bands.
a lot of bands were. That's exactly my point. But specifically, this one really felt the heat, and I feel like it kind of hindered their potential from really breaking out of the Australian scene. Most of the record sounds nothing like Nirvana. It's just the guy could scream real good. This is the Vines, the song Country Yard from their first album, one of my favorite tracks ever recorded. I love this song and this band.
I so thought you were about to play Silverchair.
They almost made the list, and I removed them from the list because I know there will be a better moment. I know there will be a better moment.
I did that with a couple of bands on this one myself.
Yeah. The vein is deep with Silverchair, and so I want to make sure to dig to it appropriately. But this is the Vines. Country Yard is the song. It was on their debut album, Highly Evolved, released in the summer of 2002 and produced by Rob Schnaff, who also recorded Elliott Smith, Foo Fighters, and Beck. Pretty cool. But what I learned while deep diving on this thing is that there's a lot of contention between the band and the producer, Rob, during the making of this album.
Really?
Because they had originally slated to record in Sydney. And he went, no, we're changing all of that. You're coming to LA now so that we can use my microphones, my gear, really get into the meat of it, which he did amazingly. Like I said, this album is awesome and deserves more relationship to the Beatles than to Nirvana, I personally believe.
Totally. You can hear that.
Yeah. This song specifically, a lot of Beatles comparisons. But yeah, funny enough, the drums on this album are a studio drummer because this Rob guy, and again, there's a lot of history here. I found a website that gives a massive deep dive into the production of this album. It's a book, basically. It's insane. So I didn't read all of it. But basically, the drummer of the band kept feeling the heat and pressure from everyone involved on the not band side.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of they were an erratic band at that time. They can get really rowdy, and that's why they got all the attention they did. But because he felt all that heat, he actually started having the time-old tale of self-doubt.
Yep.
And bailed. And so then Rob and whomever else was involved got their way, brought in a studio drummer to perform on the record. And most of the guitars and such are actually performed by the singer. So this album is actually not really so much a band as it is a concoction of a producer kind of getting weird with his flex.
Weird.
Yeah. And the session drummer name was Joey Waronker. And I do want to give him proper props because he knocked it out of the park, but it is odd how he got the gig. I can only imagine it was tough for him and the rest of the band.
Yeah, that's a weird conversation, maybe.
Weird conversation. Never a pretty one. But the band did continue on after this release, and I mean, I feel like at the time, a lot of America decided to dislike this band because they're like, oh, he's just doing their Nirvana, because they had that one screamy song.
Yeah.
Which I just thought was so incorrect and unjust that I needed to give them proper props today with a true cheers, because that record rips. The second album is supposedly the one. That's that's the one. I've actually not listened to it. I probably will now. And they have continued to release new albums, but the labels involved keep getting a little bit smaller, and the production gets a little bit weaker. That is a personal opinion, not a professional one. And I do believe at some point they did hang up the hat, maybe like 2017, something like that.
Okay.
Which is kind of a shame because honestly, out of the gate, I thought they were a great band, and it did kind of fade away rather than burn out, which is, can be tough.
They both burn.
They both burn.
They both burn. All right, Schroeder. So we popped the cork. We cheers Miss Robinson. We had some tequila. We've had some whiskey.
Loaded.
It's time for an introspective bathroom break.
Yep.
And this bathroom break is brought to you by The National. This
Tough
came out
band
in-
for me, not gonna lie.
Tough band for you, is it?
Don't like his voice all that much.
Don't. Okay. Well,
I hate to say it.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can feel your judgment through the internet, Schroeder.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna carry on. So, this track is called "Don't Swallow the Cap," which is, you've had your beverages, you're hitting the restroom, you're having your alone, introspective moment, and you're reminding yourself, hey, that first shot of tequila is gonna hit you here in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's not go back out there and swallow the cap, okay? Let's take her easy because, nobody ordered a pants off dance off.
Dude.
So yeah.
Facts on facts.
Facts on facts.
I've had many the bathroom break where it's the regaining composure, so it can be like,
there you go.
"Oh, here we are. What's up? I'm DP'd and fresh, and I maybe splashed a little water on my face, feeling okay."
There you go. Yeah, so this is 2013. This is Trouble Will Find Me is the name of the album. They've put out a slew of albums up to date. I've got probably 4 in the collection.
Oh wow.
I've seen them live. It was a killer show. I think they're super talented at the Dresner brothers. Very super talented songwriters. They do film scores and that type of thing.
I was about to say, I felt like I knew that name.
Yes, Aaron
brothers.
Dresner. And then the drumming, I think, is super cool. It's just different and not what you typically hear. I totally know what you're saying on the vocals. It's pretty flat. They're not as dynamic and that kind of thing. But I think the lyrics are pretty sarcastic and wry, which I just kind of like. There's a sense of humor to the darkness that you're hearing, and I like that.
Yeah. What is it? I mean, I only recall 2 or 3 songs from them, honestly, because it was the stuff that KEXP would play because they were the hits.
Oh, for sure.
And it was always like it felt undersung baritone delivery.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah, it made it hard for me to get into, but you can tell that the artistry and the musicianship is there because it is all well orchestrated.
Oh yeah, and there are just some really great songs by this band. Like the songwriting it's clinical at times. Where it can be challenging but so hooky at the same time, and just have these moments where you're just going like, oh, I love it. But yeah,
so this one came out.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask for clarification. This album came out in 2013, but is later on in their discography. Is that how you explained that earlier, or to this point?
This would be like right smack in the middle. Gotcha. They've probably put out, I'm gonna guess 3 to 4 records since this.
Okay. Yeah, I always just put them in that camp with like the Decemberists, and
I hear you.
I feel like the genre got called by someone. It's called the stomp clamp. Stomp clamp.
Oh no,
music.
This is not that. I know that term, and that's a derogatory term, and that is not this.
Well, see, that's the camp I put this in my old noodle.
No, we're gonna have to offline this.
All right, I'll need a little educating, and I'm fine with that. I love to learn.
No, I really dig the band. They've got a great discography. If this is your jam, definitely worth checking out if you're not familiar.
You know what I like about it? That little section right there kind of had a nice Bruce Springsteen feel to it.
Oh, I hear it now that you say
it. Whatever that song is.
Oh, I totally.
You know what I'm talking about? That one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on fire. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on fire. That's what it gave it. That's what it's giving, and I love everything about that. So.
Well, there you go. So maybe
Bravo.
give the National another chance.
I might. We'll see. It's just like it's embedded in my brain.
I
You know,
want to believe you,
problem.
Schroeder, but I just don't.
All right. Well, for this next band, we're gonna give them thanks and praise. All right. So this next one, you need a moment for that. Sorry, I
Excuse
caught
me.
you.
Oh, dude, you
Caught you
got
in a
me.
moment.
You got me. All right. I'm back.
This next band is oddly really poppy
All
for
right.
my
All right.
personal taste, but something happened with this specific album that it hit me right between the ears, and I went, everything about that feels good. And I just loved it, loved it, loved it. And I mean, there was a period of my life when I first got up here to Seattle that this album was on heavy rotation.
All right.
But the song is called Lake Michigan, the band Rogue Wave.
Oh, I've heard of this band.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people have, but nobody gave them a lot of attention because the way you heard them was through things like the soundtrack to the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty,
I never saw that.
which I think was a Ben Stiller movie, maybe?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you probably also saw this in a TV commercial for Microsoft's second generation Zune, if you remember that failed product.
An artifact of commercialism.
Yeah. The album at which it comes off of was the third release from them in 2007 called Asleep at Heaven's Gate. Came out on Brushfire Records, which I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Seems small and impactful because they got this track everywhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's owned by the band, honestly. That's what I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
learn, is that they own it and they just made bukus.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Unlike the Vines, though, this one was recorded as a full quartet. They wanted to be in the room to give that feeling of live, and then,
Nice.
of course, got really into overdubbing and stuff. But this album, opposed to their prior releases, was them really getting into large ensemble productions and instrumentations, really getting that lush thing going on, which I think this song shows off. There's
Yeah.
like 8 guitars all playing the same riff, but that's what
Yeah.
makes it so beautiful.
Right, right.
This was also the first single from the album, which was pretty fun. And what I didn't know is that it actually serves as an environmentally conscious commentary on the pollution in the Great Lakes, because it is called Lake Michigan. It specifically pushes back against the stigma that industrial dumping has ruined Lake Michigan, aiming to celebrate the region as an area that is actually quite beautiful and clean. So everybody,
Wow.
stop talking trash about Lake Michigan having trash. It's
Yeah.
clean and it's beautiful. Okay?
Just because the one next to it's superior doesn't mean it's any less good.
That's right. And then in 2018, the band did celebrate a 10-year anniversary release of the album, and that one does come with some bonus tracks that you get. But in my opinion, you don't really need them. The album is so perfect, front to
Yeah.
back, in its original form. It's one of those deals where you add stuff later on, you're like, did we actually water down the product? Much like my beer or Lake Michigan.
These angel tears taste watered down.
Yeah. But this one is actually cool too. This was produced by, I will say his last name wrong, but it is Roger Motenot. I'll just spell that Moutenot. Motenot, maybe.
Yeah, if he's
but
French,
he was
Canadian.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, something to that
Yeah.
end. But he was actually known for working with Yo La Tango and Slater Kenny. And he's kind of also the person who really helped them develop this bigger, bombastic sound that really, was the key to the full album.
I got you. Yeah. No, that was a good
And
track.
I just love them. I love that band.
No,
but not in the top 10 way.
I like how like that's such an easy. It's easy on the ears, but it's also delivering a very serious message. That's an important thing,
dude.
Yeah, love
the
that.
whole album, the whole album is easy on the ears, and there are songs like whenever you do it, when you do the front to back listen. At least whenever I was doing it back in the day, there are songs that get you right on the cusp of every emotion where you're like crying by
Oh
the
wow,
fucking second chorus of one song, and then another
jeez.
one's just got you amped up and ready to get going.
Okay,
It is a great, great album. I guarantee everybody will like it if you liked that song. This album is just goes deeper and better. Yeah.
nice. Well, I love that. And my next track is nothing like that. So let's get
Great.
it kicking. We're back from the restroom. It's time to get something going.
Done.
This is none other
Oh!
than Funky Cole Medina with Tone Loc.
Is that a drink?
It is a drink. It's not a real drink, I don't believe, but it is a drink. Now,
So this
good
whole
point,
song
Schroeder.
is-
I think this is, before we get too far, this is important to say. I called Mr. Loc before this episode to confirm that Tone Loc nor Vandy nor Schroeder, Sonic Saturator, we do not condone the actions of a Bill Cosby of putting other things in people's drink. I love Jell-O. I love pudding. But nobody should be doctoring anybody else's drink. This song is for joke purposes only.
Yes. I was gonna. That's where I was leading because I was like, it sounds like if I remember correctly, the drink that is this Funky Cole Medina is not used for well intentions.
I don't think it was. It is a bar mythology. It's not a real thing. This came out in '89 on Loked. Past tense, he's loked after dark.
Bro, I get loked after dark.
But yeah, this is one of bigger hip hop crossover hits, and obviously you're going to hear the guitar sounds. You know, you got to think this is not too far from your Aerosmith Run DMC run, so you're seeing that crossover of the rock.
Yeah. And this is, that is the influence of the Rick Rubins of the time period, is that he's kind of known as the guy that introduced Van Halen guitar stabs into hip hop tracks. And it became a real thing. It's a thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah. So this is
it's still
totally
a bop, though.
Yeah, the drums, the percussion, so good. This is '89, so I'm like 10 when I'm catching this on MTV at my grandparents' house, and I'm going, I like this beat.
That was, to talk about the connotation of what the song is about and the Cosby of the era.
Yeah.
Like literally making Spanish Fly a joke on his album.
I know, isn't that wild?
Performance. It was a different time, one where we were stupider. And honestly, I don't know of a single kid that didn't love this song when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
We all loved it, and none of us knew what that connotation was. We had no idea what the song was
Dude,
about.
I was 10. I had no idea if it was real, fake, if it was magic potion, what we were talking about.
I wasn't even listening to the lyrics. I'm just like booty dancing to it because it's so good. You know, I'm like a hillbilly in East Texas at this point. I'm like running through ditches, like shaking my booty.
As a boy in East Texas does.
As a boy in East... Hey, man, it's what you got to do.
Oh, man. Yeah, just a fun hip-hop track to throw in as we go back to the party mode.
What year did you say this is from again? Sorry?
89, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you were young and dude.
Yeah. Was this song also in Uncle Buck, or was that a different Tone Loc song?
Dude, I don't recall specifically.
Dang, because that's how I really recall Tone Loc is being, because he also did a little bit of acting, you know, and I just picture him with like a cigar saying some kind of line and being like, that's that
He was
dude.
Ice Cube before Ice Cube.
Yeah.
No, wait, you're right. Wasn't he in Ace Ventura? Isn't that Tone Loc that it plays
That's
the
Tone Loc
cop
in
in Ace Ventura?
Yeah, and I think that's the one where he's got like a cigar sometimes.
Uh,
He plays the friend. He plays the cop friend to Ace Ventura.
yes.
Again, another part of American history, popular history, where the ending punchline is like, oh, well, that doesn't age the best.
To be fair, he gave it to his dog as well. I don't think this is literal. It's a fake story. Again, I called Mr. Loc. He doesn't condone Cosby or his actions.
Right. No, nobody does. Nobody does. I don't even know I mean, even to some degree, I'm sure Bill Cosby regrets his.
Yeah, he's probably.
I
had a
would
minute to
hope.
think about it.
I would hope he's got time to think about it now. All right. Here we go. One more time. We got.
All right,
It's got
we can
1,
do
2,
this.
3, 4, 5.
We're not even like close to done yet, Schroeder. I hope you brought another.
Oh, we're
beer.
getting there. We're getting there. Hirschfelder, you wouldn't know if you had gotten there. All right, here we go.
All right, Boomhauer, let's go.
Moving on. This band gets a cheers because they are notoriously, actually huge.
Okay.
But no one in America, except for like me and 3 other people that I have gotten to turn on to listen to this band,
Okay.
have paid attention to. They've been doing it for a hot minute. Their biggest strides were happening around the time of the album that we are about to speak upon. And with all that, this is the song Fallen Angel, and the band is UK's own Elbow.
Oh, yeah.
And that's usually how people react when you talk about elbows. They go, oh,
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I do remember those.
Elbow.
We always
I've
talk
heard
about
that band name.
Yeah, we're always talking about heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. I forgot about elbow.
Yeah. This Fallen Angel comes from their second album, Cast of Thousands, released in the year 2003. Their debut album really was more of a mellow type of sound, but really got them popping just as a name in making good song craft. And then this one came out and showed, hey, we also can do energy too. And so it's filled with a lot of that cool stuff.
All right.
This peaked at number 19 on the official UK singles chart, was produced by the band alongside one Ben Hillier, and was recorded at Parr Street Studios in Liverpool.
Okay.
Love that. There is also, whenever I bought the CD of this, it came as a double disc. The second disc was a DVD.
Oh,
Every
nice.
song has a music video. And the one for this music video. Oh, actually, you know what? That's a different album of theirs that came with the DVD. I'm sorry. But this one did have a DVD that came along with it. And it has a music video for Fallen Angel. It's one of my favorite music videos because it is just the band on a stage in a mid-sized theater.
Okay.
But throughout the song, band members are like taken out, murdered.
Oh, geez.
by mishaps on the theater. Like one point, one of the stage falls and crushes the piano
so
player. I believe.
like a Final Destination style.
Yeah, totally. Like they all just keep getting murdered, and it's just a really fun video that's got a good rockin' song behind it.
It's so funny to watch you say that with a big smile on your face.
Yeah, but. It also gained a lot of infamy in 2004 when it was included on the soundtrack for one director named Michael Winterbottom. He made a movie called 9 Songs, and it is about... Okay, yeah, it's very controversial in the fact that it has, I believe, multiple unsimulated sex scenes.
Oh.
And it is basically the theme of this song is, the devotion and desire to remain with a lover even in death. It paints a picture of a couple returning to a favorite nostalgic spot and shares a dramatic, emotional narrative surrounding enduring, unconditional love. And that is basically what that movie was also about, my understanding. So, a perfect fit. It's just unfortunate that people saw PPs going into VVs and decided, well, we can't have any of this.
Yeah.
Children can't have any of this.
Nope.
In 2002, this is a fun thing. During their set at the Glastonbury Festival, Guy Garvey, that's the singer with the dulcet tones that I just love his voice. He had the audience chant and sing, "We still believe in love, so fuck you," which they then used in another song on the album, which is the song is called "Grace Under Pressure," and that song is absolutely beautiful as well.
Really?
But then following the festival performance, on their website, they put out a call that said if you were at the show, add your name to this thing, and then every single person, all their names were printed in the liner notes and in the album artwork for the record. So everybody at the show that was a part of that chant got to have their name in the elbow cover. And I think that is just, talk about primo fan engagement.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and that's why I love that band. They're just those type of guys, really smart. They're not rock and rollers, but they can make rock and roll when they want to. And for me personally, what I got excited about when I first heard them is that they were a band that really digs into production.
Okay.
And so the sounds on their records are always really unique and still but not weird, like it always makes sense and it always works, but you've never quite heard a drum sound like that.
Yeah.
Or, like one of the songs, there's a great song where for part of the vocal, they took the top head off of a snare, and Guy, the singer, will sing parts of the lyric through the snare drum so it rattles the snares.
Oh, wow.
And you get this type of sound
Yeah.
that is just, it really adds to the sound. It's fascinating stuff.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
All right, Schroeder. We're continuing on with our beverage heavy evening. Are the words starting to get slurred? I don't know. Here we go.
Hey, man, it's okay, man. Just don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay.
Where's Tony Clifton when you need him?
Yeah.
Let's go back to 1979, Schroeder, and let's tip our caps to our country fans out there and to our old families that brought us up and showed us a little bit of that family tradition.
Cheers to family.
Cheers to the family.
Country music singers have always been a real close family.
Now,
I know that
you
voice.
are. Oh, you know this person. This is Hank Williams Jr. with Family Tradition, 1979. This is about defending your rights to drink as a heritage. Like, forget prohibition. Prohibition, my foot.
Uh-huh.
This is on
I
the
have it
album
on-
Family Tradition.
I have it on good authority, a.k.a. My wonderful, beautiful, now no longer with us grandmother, who did inform me that, she grew up in the Nowheresvilles of Texas, those tiny towns of 200 that disappeared.
Yep. There's a lot of them out
when
there.
When she was 4 to 6 years old, she had many stories about being in the back of her father's car while they ran from the cops because he is a moonshiner.
Yes, family
And
tradition.
that's all right, baby.
Hey, why did you do it? Because that's how I was raised.
How you do? Because that's how it was done, son.
That's how it's done. So yeah, this is obviously it's a bit of a response to like critics comparing him to his father. Like, it's his family tradition. Why are you still doing the thing? Haven't you learned it's family tradition? Pushing back against that criticism, embracing the drinking, the smoking, the outlaw bar life. That's what this song's about. And Funny thing is, you know, lines here is Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you blow smoke? But at shows, I've not been to a Hank Williams Jr. show myself, but when they say when he sings "Why do you," the whole audience also sings "Why do you drink?"
So they got like a whole Rocky Horror Picture thing going on with it.
Yeah. I thought this was fun. You know, we got to bring it back. We played a little Whiskey River earlier. Let's keep it going. Keep the vibe. This is an all-inclusive bar.
Yeah.
We've got your rockers, your hip hop, your country. We've got your Frank Sinatra if you came in wearing a fedora or something crazy. You know.
Did you just say Hank Sinatra?
You know what I said.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra.
And to be fair, I don't think Hank Williams Jr. could have done any musical genre and would have caught heat because of his father's legacy. Like, there's no way around it. The dude was always going to be compared to his dad. Either A, you're doing country, but he wouldn't approve of it, or B, you're not doing country, and he wouldn't approve of that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he wasn't ever going to get to win that.
Yeah.
But also, hands down, the best Monday Night Football song ever created was by Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah, speaking of those have gotten real garbage lately.
Dude, I haven't heard one in a minute, but that's the only one I care about still.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Also, I do believe that Hank Williams Jr. was the first cassette I ever had. Not that I bought with my own money, but I ever had, like it was given to me. And I do believe it was by my great aunt, Baby Sue. Which just tells you how country I am. My great aunt's name is Baby Sue.
You might be from Texas if.
Yeah. Well, her line of folk are from Arkansas, and that's a different kind of breed.
Watch out.
Well, that's a different breed, my friend.
That is, in fact, a different...
All right.
Okay. Moving forward. Schroeder, you might have to carry me home tonight.
I know. I'm already thinking about, like, gosh, am I going to need a pee break? For my next tune, I would like to say salute and cheers to a band. This one is actually the band from the Bay Area, if I'm remembering correctly. They got a lot of praise at the time. It seemed like something huge could be in the works for them. It ended up kind of not being. It might have actually been the height of their career. It for sure was the ending of whenever I listened to 2 or 3 albums, and then it did feel like it was petering out to me. But still, there's an energy to what you're about to hear that I think personifies the time period. This is the Dodos, and the song is Fools.
All right.
Cheers to the Dodos.
Cheers to the Dodos. Fun fact. I must interject because scientists are hard at work to bring the dodo bird back, bro.
Yes, and I don't approve of this. Don't approve of this.
But it's happening.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Like, didn't we not learn our lessons with was it sheep? There was like a 2-headed. Did we not learn our lesson?
Yeah, there was a sheep situation. I mean, I just look at Jurassic Park. Look at how that went.
Seriously.
Come on. So anyway, this is the Dodos. The song is Fools. It was released on their second album, Visitor, in the year 2008 and recorded and mixed at the Type Foundry Studios.
All right.
Basically, lyrically speaking, this song is pretty heavy as well. It basically explores the complex family dynamics, specifically the generational relationship between a father and his son. Lyrics touch on regret, mortality, and the cycle of repeating past mistakes, seeing yourself in your father or your mother, etc., trying to right where they went wrong, maybe inadvertently, still making the same mistakes.
That old family tradition.
Yeah, exactly. Family tradition. What's great about this band, though, and probably the big thing that you've noticed, are the drums.
Oh, yeah,
A
totally.
fantastic drummer, Logan Krober, basically was known for doing this really intense, fast, heavy, polyrhythmic style, which he was influenced from West African drumming, if you're familiar with that.
I am.
And also, just in general, loves metal. And
Yeah.
that's where the speed comes from.
I got you.
To that note, this song is so incredibly fast. The chord changes happen so quick, and they're so clean. The drumming is it's borderline shaking. Like if it was a lawnmower, it'd be in 3 different parts right now. But what's fun about that is I got to see them during the tour of this album during Capitol Hill Block Party, which is a thing that happens every year up here in Seattle. They played inside Numos, which is a venue that lives here in Seattle, and it has a basement. But that's important because there were so many people packed into Numos, and this energy is constant on this record and the one before it. This high level of energy is so constant that the whole room is moving with them.
Wow.
And I crap you not, standing there watching them, it was the first time I ever experienced actual panic and claustrophobia at the same time, because we were packed into a big room. It's a big room.
Yeah.
But there were so many people packed in there, everyone moving to the same rhythm. I could feel the floor below us flexing.
Dude.
And I went, you know what? This smells like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here. And so I just bought the record and I bailed because I was like, I actually can't. I think I watched their whole set but was very nervous and finally left. But everything about them is just high intensity, and that's just what I loved about this album. I thought it was gonna be a breaking point of like, this is the new sound, and they got a lot of love during that time period for being like, Pitchfork called them the best new music of the time period, which is kind of hard to do with Pitchfork. I feel like
not the easiest thing to do.
But what's cool is that Visitor, the album title, is misspelled, and the artwork is misspelled. And what's fun about it is they actually played a show where they went to a school for like special needs kids. And they were kind of like, we've never played for kids. They kind of were doing it as a favor, I believe.
Okay.
And ended up having just the greatest time with all the children because they were like screaming and jumping and dancing. It was going bananas. And one kid loved them so much, he ended up giving them a bunch of artwork that he had worked on. A lot of kids gave them artwork. And that artwork is the artwork for the album.
Oh, wow.
So Visitor is misspelled because it is the creation of a child.
Yeah.
And all of the other artwork in there is made from other children from this school because it just had such a lasting impression on the two
That's
dudes.
sick.
Yeah, just so beautiful. I love everything about it. Another great album that everybody should go check out, and a band that I don't believe is still going, but they did one of those deals where they kept trying, and this was kind of the height of them getting a lot of their most attention.
I gotcha. All right. Yeah. No, I like that track a lot. That was good.
Cheers to the Dodos.
Cheers to the Dodos. May they forever rest in peace, if you're Schroeder.
Yeah, please. For the other Dodos. For the real.
For the other Dodos, not for
Dodos.
Schroeder himself, no.
Yeah.
All right. Schroeder, we're at the tail end of our nights here of sloppy drinking. Again, we've had the rockers, we've had the hip hoppers, we've had country, the good.
What time's this bar close? I got tunes to play, baby.
Oh, well, you know here's what I'm really getting at. Like the good liquor we're starting to run out of the good liquor, and we're kind of having to start to look around, and you're looking for maybe that one sober friend, like, hey, can you go to maybe like the corner store and maybe just pick me up a 40 ounce to freedom? Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, 1992, man.
Was it just a dream of mine, or have I played Sublime on a previous episode?
I feel like that might be a dream. I don't recall any Sublime to date.
Okay, because they were gonna make one of my lists, and then it didn't.
Yeah. Beat you to it, Schroeder.
I remember I played it for you off show when we were doing some video test stuff. That's
right. So yeah, this is 40 Ounce to Freedom, the title track to 40 Ounces to Freedom, a band straight out of Long Beach.
Yeah, baby. Lou Dog, baby.
Dude, very much a DIY recording sessions, as I understand. And when I was revisiting this track, what tripped me out about it so much is some of the panning that happens in this track. There's so much far left and far right going on that it totally gives this just a weird vibe, but it's cool.
Yeah, like, it works.
It totally works.
I will say
it is far left talking about Josh. Like, I gotta go pick up the shit.
Yeah. I will say it is always fascinating going back to this era of records and listening to them now and realizing how underproduced they are compared to albums today, where you're like, oh wow, this was like the shiniest album I'd ever heard, but by today's standards, it sounds like it might as well have been a punk rock band in a basement.
Yeah, this is totally minimalistic, really, but it works so well.
Oh man, so many stories.
Give us one, Schroeder.
You want a sad one? It's kind of all I've really got with Sublime.
Well, it is a sad ending to the story.
Yeah, and that's part of it. So, where I worked for a long time in Austin, for multiple years, I should say, was Arlen Studios. That is where Sublime was recorded, as well as Butthole Surfers Electric Larryland. But...
Drink!
Yeah, when I was... but a wee assistant engineer there. Nay, I actually might have been interning at this point. It was so early on. One of the lead engineers for sessions at that time at Arlen and Pedernales was, in fact, the assistant engineer during the recording of Sublime.
Yeah.
And he told me this story, and this is graphic. So everybody...
Oh, goodness.
This is graphic. And
Grab your
it's kind of
beverage.
sad, and it talks about the struggles of the artist and depression and mental stability.
Okay.
That's why we now have a thing called Music Cares, and you should all go to Music Cares and sign up for it if you can. Basically, they recorded Sublime in Austin because they needed to get Bradley away from LA, where he had tons of hookups for heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so turns out that when he got to Austin, one of the first friends he made was one Gibby Haynes of Butthole Surfers, who, guess what, hooked him up with heroin.
You know who may be able to find you somebody? Gibby Haynes.
Yeah. And so it came time to record the vocals. The cool thing, what's really great and beautiful about this band, though, is that Lou, the dog, his Dalmatian, always by his side. All the way to death. For real. There's even stories about that, which are just tragic. Because I love dogs, and when they lose a human, it messes me up. But anyway, it came time to do the vocals. They couldn't find Bradley anywhere. Everybody's searching around. Finally, the engineer who's telling me the story basically says that he decided, you know what? Nobody's checked this one bathroom, so I'm going to go look in the bathroom. He goes, looks in, opens up the stall that was in the bathroom, and there's Bradley on the floor, curled up around the toilet with a needle in his little man, because that was
his nether regions.
Yeah, in his penis, because that was the only vein that still worked.
No shit.
Yeah. So he got him, picked him up, took him into the room to do the vocals, and he did all of them. And
No.
all the vocals you hear on Sublime, to my understanding, are in fact vocals recorded shortly after what I just told you about happened.
Wow.
Yeah, truly incredible. The fun thing to end it on a fun note is that while they were in Austin, they bought a car, I guess. I don't know the full story behind it, but it's what they
Okay.
used to go around town in. And at the end of the sessions, they just left the car in the parking lot where it sat through my time being at Arlen.
Yeah.
And it was the number one spot to go and chief up between sessions or on session breaks. Because, like, there ain't nothing cooler than sitting in Sublime's car getting Rasta.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the band would approve.
Yeah, I hope. All right. So, with all of that negative... Oh, gosh. Well, this one also ends with a pretty sad story, but hopefully we won't have to cover it. This is another band from Texas, though, and one that began in Denton, but found their fruits of fame, to certain degrees, in Austin.
Okay.
They were, when I knew them, they were but a bunch of rambunctious 18 to 20-year-olds not allowed into Beerland, and so they would have to sit out front and wait for their set to start so they could go in by law, play the show, and then as soon as they were done, go right back outside.
Get you out, bastards.
Yeah, which I do believe only benefited them because they are some of the nicest, sweetest, funniest, rambunctious kids you'd ever meet at that time period, and it only added to the charm of them. This is the Strange Boys, the song Be Brave.
All right. For the Strange Ones.
Cheers to the Strange Boys. So yes, the Strange Boys, Be Brave. The album, also called Be Brave, released in early 2010. It was on In the Red Records here in the U.S., but released in international markets through Rough Trade, which is where the band would end up on in their final album release, would be specifically just with Rough Trade.
Okay.
As you can tell, kind of a quirky sound to them. It's a big throwback to that early garage rock sound.
Yeah.
His vocal delivery, pretty special as well. Always kind of referred to as a Texan Bob Dylan because he was kind of a nasally pinched sound that a lot of people would want to talk shit on. But for this album, they wanted to lean into it and really make sure, like, they don't care what anybody thinks. This is what's up. This is the band. And I think they nailed it. This was recorded in 2009 at the distillery in Costa Mesa, California, which is owned by a Mike Hughes, and he does seem to be the only credit for the studio personnel for the album. Okay. So they probably knew him through touring or something. Really infectious touring group. You can't not bop and boogie to the tunes that they were creating at the time. And a fun fact, before they got to this point, I actually mixed 5 or 6 songs that were given to me by somebody who was trying to proactively work as their producer, because he kind of was the first on the ground. He's the one who got them to leave Denton, come to Austin. He booked Beerland. He was a name in the town at the time. Way different sound, though, and their manager ended up shelving those songs. I still got them, and I still love them.
Oh, wow.
We ran everything through a big muff, so it's all blown out and distorted. It sounds more like Coach Whips or the Dirt Bombs, if you're familiar with those bands.
I am not.
Which is the band's manager was trying to go after this. He was looking for this sound.
I got you.
So we did just kind of get it wrong. But that's fine. That's what happens, you know. That's birthing a baby.
Yeah.
They toured constantly during this era. They had a reputation for treating recording as a documentation. of the live feel that they had as a band. They didn't like doing a lot of overdubs and stuff, so it was
Okay.
just on the floor, rock it out, make it
Yeah.
happen. What we track is what we get. And then, of course, because of a brutal touring schedule and people just starting to get some burnout, they did end up playing their final show, I believe, in Canada in 2012. And then Ryan Samball, the lead singer, he did go on to make his own music. The last I heard, he lived in New Orleans
Okay.
and was making solo records there. For a brief moment, his brother, Philip, lived here in Seattle, and I recorded a record with a band he had here called Telemesser. Totally different thing.
Okay.
But they're brothers and they spent so much time together on the road. I think he ended up moving to New Orleans to be with Ryan, or at least just to be back closer to family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seattle ain't for everybody, and I totally get it. And I loved having him here for that brief moment because it was a fun time of like, oh shit, that's right. We knew each other from back then, and here
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
now in this city.
Flash forward.
And yeah, so it was just fun to get to reconnect with him. We're
All
doing it.
right. So, we've killed a 40. We're looking now. Do you remember there's like fancy people that buy like nice bottles of wine. And then you get like the bottles of wine with like the screw tap. And
Sure.
then you keep moving down and it's like it's a bottle of wine with the screw tap, but it's like twice the size of a normal bottle of wine.
Those are the ones I like.
That's the one you like, right? As long
I like
as
that.
it's
I call them double barrels.
the double barrel. That's right. That's right. That is where we are in the evening. We're scrounging because somebody brought a double barrel and everybody's waiting to hit it, and it's time. People are starting to, nobody's really sober at this point. The eyes are starting to get glassed over. It is time for yes.
As long as it's not Boone's Farm, baby, I'm there for it.
This is the red wine. Now, I will confess even, Schroeder, that for the briefest of moments, I did have strawberry wine on my playlist.
Dude, would have been a great ad, honestly. Would have been a great ad.
For the briefest of moments. Schroeder, this is 1983, dude.
Wow,
83.
what?
83.
It seems like this song existed through my whole childhood, but that's the year after I was born, which means it literally was there my whole childhood.
Yeah, 100%. And so this is one of those points where I realized I messed up earlier in the show because I brought up Neil Diamond and tied to Miss Robinson, which was Simon and Garfunkel. I think I changed and got it right later in my story, but I want to point out that Miss Robinson is Simon and Garfunkel. This song is originally written and sung by Neil Diamond.
I
apologize for that mix up earlier in the show.
That's fine. That makes more sense because that would have made Neil Diamond be a few years older than I thought he was. And I also did know that song was a Simon and Garfunkel song. I just assumed they covered it after you had said that. So good clarification. Way for catching that now.
Yeah. Jumbled my notes there.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just the way you got to organize your notes in a different way so that you're not putting them next to each other like that.
That's right. It's too close. It's too close.
Double spaced.
So, this is 1983 off the album Labor of Love. What is interesting about this track is the band had no idea that this was a Neil Diamond song. They had only heard there's an older reggae version, and I just forgot the name because of what we're doing tonight. I think it's like Tony something. It's off the tip of my tongue, but so it was originally by Neil Diamond. Then it gets done by like a proper reggae band, right?
Yeah.
And so UB40, who was a modern kind of a reggae band, modern influenced by reggae, had only heard the reggae version when they put this out. They had no idea that it was Neil Diamond. In fact, because in the notes, it just said in Diamond. And apparently there was a reggae artist that had the same, it was like in something Diamond. And they totally thought just a reggae track.
Hey, I've been there, dude. We just covered this. I thought I owned a Sunroof record, but I owned a Sunroof record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I've been
Exclamation
there.
points matter, man.
Yes.
Punctuation,
in
bro.
Diamond. I get it. I understand.
So
Bummer.
when I revisited this, you know, you hear the band member, the gentleman here, who's rhyming over the song, right? In reggae music, this is not called rapping; it's called toasting. That's what it can.
Oh.
So he's an actual band member. His name's Astro, and what he's doing here is called toasting to reggae songs. And so if you hear that spoken word over a reggae track, they're not rapping; they call it toasting.
Love it.
And so he's an actual band member. It's a large band. It's like 8 members in UB40.
Yeah.
And so they've still been around. They've become one of those bands that you can go see them. It's not the original members anymore. Some of the original members are on side projects. Astro, who did this toasting, did pass away just a handful of years ago. Somewhere in his like mid 60s.
Dang.
But yeah, like I wondered when I was listening to it, it's like, man, is this a guest spot? Did they bring somebody on that was known in reggae to do this part? No, this is an actual UB40 band member that spitting these fire rhymes.
I love it. Well, I mean, it makes sense though too, right? They're a UK band. UK had a huge population of people coming from Jamaica. I would consider UB40, and maybe I'm wrong for considering this, but I would say they are in my head, they've always been a second wave ska band. So to
that makes
have
sense.
that kind of a member in the band and to be an 8-member band.
Yeah.
That all tracks for me. It's like, that's perfect for the time. 1983, that's exactly what every
Yeah, I mean,
band in the
honestly,
UK
right. This
was.
is the specials. This is all that.
Yeah. Hip.
Yeah.
You know
Just had
what,
to throw
though?
it on there.
Yeah, you did confuse me. I always associated that song to the band Mountain.
Oh,
Do you remember Mountain?
it's not ringing a
But-
bell.
Dang, but yeah, it's not them. It is UB40.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm confused of what the Mountain song was because they had.
That was
It
by
was like a
Jane's
similar
Addiction.
feel. Yeah, it was a similar feel. What was it? Mountain. Anyway, who knows? Red, wine.
I'm
I
like
love it.
UB40s. Like I wish I'm in my UB mid 40s. Dude, I don't know if you remember the music video, but it's got like a glossy film over it. So it's got that, you know, like when you say like someone's been drinking a lot of wine, they've got like glossy or glassy eyes.
Yes.
Like it's got like the video's got the vibe, the song's got the vibe. It's so good.
That's funny. Do you think they did that on purpose?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Good. What I should have done now that I'm realizing is oh, nice pop. That was good.
Dinosaur
I'm
Jr.
realizing now I should have put the Flying Lutenbachers on my playlist because they have an absolutely amazing intro to one of their albums where it is a guy trying to introduce them at a live performance, like festival type thing is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And he fails miserably over and over again because if you've had a little bit to drink, the name Flying Lutenbachers becomes a little bit harder to talk.
Dude,
and-
I can
and
get
to
through
say.
our episodes without messing up.
Yeah, and that's sober.
Yeah, right. Ish.
All right, so for this next toast, this band hails from New York City. They come from that early 2000 scene that was marked by the meteoric rise of the yeah, yeah, yeahs.
Oh.
This band, however, decided to be more artistic through their output, dare I say,
Okay.
more profound.
Watch out.
And one of my favorite bands the first album took me a minute to get used to. I saw it as hipster trash until I realized what was actually happening underneath the hood. But by this album, their fourth, I was completely friggin' hooked. This is the opening track to that album, Plaster Casts of Everything. This is the band Liars.
Ooh, to the Liars. I know them to be quite the aggressive band, yeah?
Yes. In fact, their first two albums were pretty, I hate to use the word spastic because I do feel like that's an inappropriate word these days, but in this instance, that is what it felt like. It was spasms of music is what they really created.
Yeah.
But then they came out with a third album, that I actually forget its name. I always wanted to call it Drums Not Dead, but it might have been called something Mount Heart Attack, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Which is a really spaced out album, not aggressive at all.
Interesting.
Which is why this album, their fourth, just titled Liars, was so important, is that it brought them back to that guitar-driven, guitar-centric sound of just aggression, full pummeling, pushing. One of the first bands in my book where I realized you only need 2 notes. If you got 2 notes, you can create sonic
just
changes
dynamics,
by just
after that.
adding stuff or removing stuff. And this song is a perfect example of that, as it is just this was also not only the first track on the album, it was the lead single from the album. This was released in 2007 by Mute Records.
Okay.
It was recorded at Planet Rock and was produced by the band and a person named Jeremy Glover. What's cool about this band and specifically this album, but this song, is the way they created it. By this point, Angus, the singer, had moved to Berlin, and that is where they recorded in the studio in Berlin. However, the 2 other members at the time had moved to Los Angeles. So what they would actually do when they were writing the stuff were mailing each other demo tapes and whatnot.
Okay.
And just kind of adding. And so it became more of a collage type of a thing. And so when they all got together to be in the studio to make it, they just kept that mentality. And so they actually booked, the way they booked the space was that to the guitar player and who is named Aaron Hemphill, he would be in one studio working up his parts and doing his stuff. Angus would be in a different studio in the same complex, writing up his parts to what Aaron had just made. And then the drummer, Julian Gross, would just be in his own world, bashing away at whatever was being sent to him from both Angus and Aaron.
Okay.
And so it just created this really interesting, like we've just gone through a huge change, but nothing really has changed here.
Yeah.
But the whole song has changed its feel. It's just still got pounding, aggressive drums going on. So it feels the same, which I think is just so unique. And the whole album does that. By this point, they had pretty much gained a reputation for being like the art rockers of that New York City scene that got exposed to the world. There is a really cool movie called Meet Me in the Bathroom. Have you ever seen this?
I have seen that one.
So it is it basically showcases them and the rest of those bands from that time period.
Yeah, I think it's
and there's just
Yeahs and Interpol. I think it's
exactly.
Well, yeah.
Who I don't like Interpol.
You're not a fan of Interpol, huh?
I can't. I just can't. I saw them live once and it was severely underwhelming. And maybe it was just a bad night, Maybe it was just a bad night. But then the only other time I heard them was like on one of the late night shows, and the singer just wasn't doing it for me. Like he seemed out of tune and out of pitch.
You
and
know
I went,
what?
Oh.
I'm realizing something here. A very similar singing style to the National, who you also don't like.
Yeah, it could be. There could be something to that. However, I do like baritone, lower, drony vocals.
Yeah, because you're into Nick Drake and stuff.
Yeah,
Not Nick
so-
Drake. You know who I'm talking about?
Nick Cave.
Nick Cave. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, the same mistake I made on the previous episode.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, also Nick Drake does have a very sleepy baritone.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Although he does also have a very high. He can go. I think the moon is on his word.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but yeah. To the Liars' credit, I have a page worth of notes that I didn't even talk about that talk about the recording of that album. Bunch of cool stuff, but I don't want to get into it because we're drinking, baby. So let's
That's
get
right.
to another drinking song.
All right. So, I, despite the enthusiastic introduction to this next track, this is my final track. It's a sad bastard one. This is the scene where maybe you showed up to the bar or the party like by yourself and the party's starting to like dwindle, like people are starting to leave and you're like looking across the room or across the bar and like, all right. So different vibe here. This is a songwriter, you know, Tim Kasher. And this is The Good Life with O'Rourke's 1:20 a.m.
Oh
Literally
man,
a
I've not
song.
thought about The Good Life in a minute.
Yeah. Literally a song about being at the bar just before it closes. This is my last call, and you start looking for that person like, am I going home alone tonight? Is there someone I can find across this bar? But dude, honestly, one of my favorite songwriters ever. I've probably seen between Cursive and The Good Life, I've seen Tim Kasher close to a dozen times.
Wow.
And just love Cursive, love The Good Life. Always like catching that show.
Sorry, did you already tell me the year and
This
album?
is 2004, man. So as you're coming
20 year
through
anniversary-
visiting
or no,
me in
20
college at that time, this is when this has come out, and I was, me, Lindsay, Brett, we were heavy into The Good Life during this time.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You confused me because you said visiting you in college, but I forgot you did a double. You did it.
I did
twice.
a double. Yeah, I spent a little time.
You liked
in
college
Denton.
so much you went back.
Yeah.
Friggin' Rodney
Look,
Dangerfield
lots
over
of
here.
people go to college for 7 years.
Yeah.
They're called doctors.
That's right. What is that from? I know that. Really.
That's from Tommy Boy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
They're
we're
called
laughing.
doctors.
It's one of those songs I feel so bad talking over because I like truly love this song.
Yeah.
This song gives me the goosebumps. Like every time I sit down and listen to it. This build-up is fantastic. The songwriting's fantastic. I love this song so much.
I think what's crazy to me, again, listening back to songs from this era now, things that were lost on me then was how much electronics were actually incorporated into this.
So I listened to an interview with Tim Kasher talking about doing Domestica with Cursive, and he talks about doing some Good Life tracks.
Great record.
Oh, yeah. Super fan over here. But he used, oh, dude. Like, why am I even talking right now?
I was about to say, shut up. I'm listening.
I love it so much.
But I get the idea, so I know what's going on. So keep telling me this great story.
Yeah, but I mean, he talks about like using like, he couldn't remember what it was, but it was like an Alesis drum machine to make those beats that you kind of hear in some of the Good Life. And I think it carried over into a Cursive track or two as well. Just that use of drum beat and effect. But yeah, I absolutely love Tim Kasher as a songwriter. I've got all the records almost between the Cursive and the Good Life. You know, very much two different acts. You know, if you like distorted, jagged guitars, Cursive's for you. If you love beautiful, sad, it's just what it is. It's super sad music. some of the most heartbreaking songs I've ever heard have been the Good Life tracks. And
Huh.
this being one of them.
What's the song about?
I mean, it's quite literally just an alcohol-fueled honesty, relationships, and, you know, it's literally called Aurorix, 1:20 a.m. It is about being at a bar at 1:20 a.m., holding hands between bar stools and like, get me the fuck out of here. Come on.
Yeah.
And it's not over just yet. And he has this little bit of a, yeah, dude, I could go into this album. The album is Blackout. It's fantastic. One
Also,
of my
a thing that happens at the end of the night if you're not careful.
It totally is. This is on Saddle Creek Records, a label that I've bought so many records from over the years. It was produced by Mike Mogus, who you would know from The Bright Eyes. Who also has a brother, AJ Mogus, who did some production for Bright Eyes and is in Criteria, which is so Cursive had two kind of phases. An early phase with Steve Peterson at guitar, and then Tim gets married, moves, subsequently divorces, brings Cursive back without Steve Peterson. Steve Peterson goes on to form Criteria with not Mike Mogus, but AJ Mogus playing in the band. And if you've not jammed Criteria and you like Cursive, highly recommend. Power guitars, great tunes. I love it. I've seen Criteria, I've seen Cursive, I've seen The Good Life. Take my money. These are my jams.
Yeah. That's funny. Curiously, can you name your favorite Cursive album and your favorite Good Life album?
Yeah, pretty easily.
What's the Cursive one?
So Cursive's got to be The Ugly Organ. It just is.
I was wondering.
It's a masterful record.
That's when the cello showed up, I think, for the first time.
So there's the EP with Burst and Bloom. I think has a little bit of cello action, maybe. Right at between Domestica, going into The Ugly Organ. But dude, I love that. The Good Life have put out some fantastic records. Again, kind of in that vein. They're you want to say folky, but with a digital pop edge and just great songwriting and that type of thing. Novena on a Nocturna was their first. That's freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
But the Blackout was the next one, which is that one's off of. There are probably 3 tracks on there that could be some of my favorite sad songs of like all damn time. And then it goes into the album of the year, which is a totally cool concept record with each track is like a different month and through like a relationship and fantastic, like, dude, super.
So
fan.
it sounds like you can't really pick a favorite. You just really got to have the whole discography.
If you're going to make me pick a favorite Good Life, it would also be Blackout. Cause it is, it's a fucking devastating record.
So don't everybody listen to that after you've done what we've decided to do, which is to drink.
If you've been putting down some whiskeys, wait till tomorrow to put on Blackout because you might fall asleep crying into your whiskey that night.
Or sending some texts to people that don't really need texts.
Yeah. Put the phone away. Put the keys in the phone away.
Oh man. All right, so here we are. We're raising our glass one final time, unless I make my outro song, which we will also raise our glass to. So, but this is official raising the glass in the playlist final time.
Let's do it.
We talked about how the Good Life there used electronics in their music, and that was in the year 2004.
Yeah.
This band could be the reason why most bands of a hardcore or punk lineage after the year 1998 began using electronics.
Okay.
Because up to this point, as far as hardcore was concerned, you didn't put digital stuff in there, but this band refused to do that.
Oh, hell yeah,
and
let's go.
This is The New Noise by Refused. It's go time, baby. This is a long one, so I'm starting it sooner than later. One of the coolest, funnest intros ever. A band, the reason that they get the cheers is they said, fuck the rules. We're doing this our way. And they created what we could probably say is the new rule book for how you produce and record punk rock, hardcore, all of it. These were the first guys to be there. 1998, baby. Here we go.
To the refuse. I love this track so much.
Everybody does. You can't not because it's so good.
The music video's killer. The track is killer. The band is killer.
This section right here, dude, where it's like straight up, did we just go to a rave? What is happening?
Yeah, and to hear that in the middle of what's a hardcore track, and you're like, wait, what?
Not even the middle. This is a 5-minute track.
This is the beginning of the track.
Oh, we talked over the big canine scream, but that's fine. Whatever. You got excited. I'm always excited. Shit happens. This is from Shape of Punk to Come, as I said, released in 1998, and it was, in fact, the Shape of Punk to Come, although they broke up immediately after its release, which was a bummer for everyone that ever wanted anything great to be in the world. They are Swedish. They are very political. Two things I love are political Swedes, and I'm with one. They recorded it and this is the part where she'll murder me because everything that's Swedish I will now say wrong. This was recorded at Tonteknik Recording Studio in Umeå, Sweden. It was produced by Pelle Henriksson, Andreas Nilsson, Eskil Lofström, and the band. So I worked through that as best as I could.
Oh man.
Yeah, but basically, this whole song is about the vapidness. It's a contrast, if I can say, a contrast of the vapid manufactured new beat, which is representing the soulless mainstream music that was getting thrown at us through those mid to late 90s. Yeah. We were all there, and it was terrible. We can all agree on that. They would contrast that new beat with the new noise, which is the abrasive, honest voice of hardcore punk, what this band was all about. And this was the first time that they also themselves went, let's just inject crazy electronica into it. Again, another band that treated the recording of the record more as a collage than as a tracking of songs. They spent so much time in the editing process of this. This is 1998. Again, Pro Tools has just shown up, and it is what they're using to make a new sound.
Yeah.
All these transitions that are going on. It's incredible what they were able to pull off. They added huge cinematic arrangements. Every song has massive dynamic shifts. There's jazz interludes. I mean, there's hip hop in there. It's all in there. But specifically, the thing that really showed up on this album that shaped the sound of punk to come, and as unfortunate as that to say that, are the drums. Because the most important thing they put in were making sure that you could hear every single aspect of the drums perfectly, which before 1998 was not a concern for hardcore bands.
Right? Yeah.
It was just loud, fast. That's hardcore. It's all a bit of a mess, but this band was all about getting it exactly perfect and just clean, utilizing that manufactured, polished thing to make the rough, abrasive merge. Just incredible, incredible stuff.
Yes.
And just the way to get out of it. I love how they transition here. Now he's singing, and you start to hear the audience show up. They pulled... This is from a live show now, all of a sudden. Seamlessly, they pulled the ending of one of their songs, of the song from a live track and put it in.
Jeez.
And there we are. That's the
Yes.
show, baby.
We did
We've
it.
hit
We
the
made
end.
it.
My playlist is done. I have chosen this wonderful, beautiful, cacophonous mess of sound. Another band that we must cheers. This is Akron Family. Another one of my favorites. Their song "Moment." It does so many different things in such a short
There's
amount
a
of
lot
time.
going on.
There's a lot going on. It's 5 minutes and 20 seconds of absolute beauty. Just wait till you hear the rest.
Pandemonium.
Didn't do a deep dive on these guys because we're just going to talk about our show. How did it feel for you? I feel a little tipsy, a little happy.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I had a good time. Laughs were had. We told happy stories, sad stories. It's like a true night of going out with your buds and having a beverage.
That's right.
And that's what I was aiming for.
And the night didn't end in a fight, which means it was a great night of drinking with your buds.
Yes, totally. Oh, dude,
But here we
yes.
are. Oh, I'm glad we did this one. I honestly, at the beginning of putting my cheers list together, I think I texted you at one point and was like, dude, I've gone through 4 different iterations of this. And then what I realized, it's simple, Schroeder. You just got to cheers the ones you love. And so that's what I
There
did.
you go.
I think you kind of did the same thing. And I think that's awesome that we just came with songs that make you want to feel good and party with your,
Right? Just having
your
a good
tightest of
time.
homies.
That's right. Well,
All right.
This song is wild.
Dude, it's amazing. This is actually, so I'll just tell you really quickly, this is off of a split EP that they made with a band called Angels of Light. Angels of Light is headed by Michael Jarrah of Swans, who I covered in a previous episode. And
Okay.
Akron Family also acted as the backup band on tours and on recordings for a lot of the Angels of Light stuff.
Interesting.
Michael Jarrah also released their first few records on his Young Gods label. And so there it is. I spit in a little bit of info about these guys because I love them.
This is a wild track.
This is by far one of my favorite live bands to have ever done the deed. They have also unfortunately broken up, but seeing their live shows, the way they reconstruct what they do on albums and the way they construct albums, everything about them is just so fascinating and beautiful.
That's awesome, man.
But now we're doing this. It's about to go into this whole new riff that's going to just be awesome as well. That feels completely different from the rest of everything else. But with that, while we get into it, tell me, Vandy, what's the big brain got for us for next week? Where are we going?
I was hoping the riff would come in just in time for the brain, but this track is
it's coming.
wild. We're going to the brain now.
Let's go get to the brain.
All right. And let's see what the brain's squeezing out today. Are you ready for the next episode? It's going to be all mixed up.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Don't know what to do.
Oh, man. I can already tell you right now, the first thought I'm having that's going to be the hardest one for me to do, so I probably won't do it, is focusing on bands like Akron Family here, where the song is all mixed up.
It's just all mixed up.
Because the way that they would do the recording for a lot of their stuff is they would grab sounds and recordings of demos and everything and just start smashing them together.
Oh, dude. This would have been
so
perfect, but you can't use it now.
Well, they have plenty more songs that are just as beautiful, my guy. Do not worry. Beautiful. All right. Well, all mixed up. That's happening next week.
That's
I'm
right.
looking forward to it. On behalf of myself and Vandy, I'd like to tell everyone, hey, don't drink and drive. But if you're going to drink with your friends. And if you're going to drive, don't drink.
There it is. That's sound-ass logic
if you're
to me.
driving, you better be alone. Anyway.
And not drinking.
And not drinking. Smoke a little weed. That's fine.
And with
All right,
that.
on that note, cheers to you, my good man. It's been 2 months, and we've got plenty more ahead of us,
Plenty
I'm
more
sure.
to go.
Looking forward to it. Cheers, my brother.
Until next time, sir.